In today's video, we're going to be talking about the missing piece that Dirac Live does not give you and how to actually get another 30% out of your home theater equipment. First, we're going to run Dirac Live and I'll be using the Onkyo TX-RZ30 as my demonstration unit. And then we're going to add in the missing piece that Dirac doesn't do and kind of just leaves you high and dry. And you don't want that, especially after all the time, money, and energy you've put into your home theater. So if you have Dirac Live, you're definitely going to want to watch this video. Let's get into it. So we're going to run a Dirac Live calibration. I'm going to show you how it goes. Now, the first thing that we need to do is to decide which microphone we're going to use. Now, there's two microphones that I have. One is the included microphone that came with the Onkyo. So if you have a Pioneer, an Onkyo, or an Integra, you could use those microphones. For some of you advanced users, I know you've got something like a UMIK-1 or something like that. If you're going to use a UMIK-1 or another calibrated microphone, just remember to download the calibration file that you want to use. And I'll show you how to input that. For simplicity's sake, I will run this calibration with the supplied microphone, but I will run through the settings just so you guys know if you wanted to use a different microphone like the UMIK-1, how to do so. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is download Dirac Live. So I got it up on my computer here. We're gonna search Dirac Live download. First link right here, downloads. Download Dirac Live for Windows and Mac. That's what we're gonna do. Dirac Live, let me just open it. As you can see, it's already populating the Onkyo. So if you have a connected device, and pretty much all we're gonna do is click on Onkyo right there. So here is the microphone that is supplied with the RZ30. I'm gonna go ahead and just plug it in the front of the AVR, which is right here under Setup Mic. Plug that in. So we're going to select this microphone here, and we're going to proceed to volume calibration. Now I'm going to jump back real quick. Let's say you want to use a different type of microphone. So I'm going to use this USB-C microphone. This is the UMIK-1. Soon as I plug it in here, a little blue light comes on the microphone, and that will allow me, as you can see, UMIK-1, gain 18 dB, 48 kilohertz, channel 1 is selectable. Now, if you go down in this area here, this is where you load the calibration file, which I already have downloaded, and you can get this calibration file if you put in the serial number on the UMIK website. And whatever calibrated microphone you have should have a calibration file, a regular one like this and a 90-degree one as well. So if you're going to use the microphone in the 90-degree position like this, you want to load up the 90-degree text file. If you're using the standard text file, that means you're going to have the microphone horizontal. So you're going to have to choose the right calibration file if you're using a different microphone like the UMIK-1. I'm not going to use this mic. I'm going to use a supplied mic. I'm going to hit cancel and then scroll all the way to the left to where the microphone is with the Onkyo. It's always good to get the microphone on a tripod. This is a selfie stick tripod. Same difference. It's got a screw thread at the bottom, and it's going to say start Dirac on the front. And then we get this Dirac Live. You need to use the latest Onkyo controller. Now I'm going to set this up over here. As you know, this is a bedroom. So I do a lot of my TV watching on the bed or playing video games or whatever it happens to be. I'm going to be calibrating this area here. My ears should be somewhere around here. Angle is a little bit. All right, so I've got this microphone set up. I'm going to hit proceed to volume calibration. And then now we need to kind of just test the volume. So we're going to hit this play button right here. It's going to play out of the front left. And as you can see, it's real low until I start talking. See, that boost is me talking. So what we need to do is we need to bump up the master output for you to get a healthy level out of the speakers and get to the microphone. Now you can adjust the microphone gain here. And as you can see, once you start moving the slider of the microphone gain, you'll have a resulting change in volume coming out of the front left. So let's try the front left. 1, 2, Okay, so now we can proceed to select arrangement. Now, here's how the room correction works with Dirac as far as how many measurements you want to take. So we have a tightly focused image for some person in a chair. That could probably be what I want to do here, right? Because it's just me in here. Focused image is just kind of like what the picture shows. It's a guy in the middle of a couch. So if there's a couch fitting 3 people, you probably want to go focused image. Wide imaging is for multiple people. Now, again, this is all about how many measurements you're going to take. So if we toss in tightly focused image, let's see how many measurements. 9 measurements here, right? Let's go back and go focused image. Let's see how many are here. Woo! We got a whole lot. 13. Any guesses on the wide imaging? Boo! 117 measurements. Wow. Okay, so let's go back and pick tightly focused image. Now I'm going to place the microphone where my head, the center of my head would be. So it would kind of be like right here. I am going to have to move out of the way, so let's move. You're going to want to be as quiet as possible. Clipping detected. Data was lost during recording because the input signal was louder than what can be recorded. Okay, so if that ever happens, go back to volume calibration and turn either the mic gain down or the master output down. So we'll bring the master output down to -60, and -1 is where that's at. Okay, now you might get a situation where the signal to noise level is too low, so you got to hit dismiss. And we need to jack up the volume. So go back to volume calibration, mic sensitivity, output volume. Let's go -35. Okay, so here are the measurements for all the speakers. You can kind of come over here and be like, there's the front left, there's the center, there's the front right, surround left, surround right, subwoofer, height 1 left, height 1 right. The next location, so I'm gonna bottom, what is this? Front, bottom, right. Just make sure you know what you're doing. So front, bottom, right. So I'm gonna go down and then right to here. Okay, so that one's done. Now I'm gonna choose another. I'm gonna choose this front, bottom, left. And then I'm gonna move this guy over to here. Okay, so in group 1, we have front left and front right. You can see those individually if you click on them, or if you click on the group, you see them both. Now up here, we can do a lot of things. If you ever needed to stop and save your progress, you can save and load your project. Let's go to proceed to filter, export. We've got 3 filters. I'm gonna name this one RBH Monolith 5.1.41. So here's the big thing with Dirac Live. We did all that stuff, and once we get to here, it's kind of like, well, what do we do now? Do we just leave this like this? Because we can adjust these guys, -1.8. So if I go down like this, it's gonna design the filter response based on how far I move these sliders here. But at the end of the day, like, where is this curve, this target curve, where is it coming from? Is that what we need for this room? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the big question. Are we using the right curve to export to the AVR? And now the moment you've been waiting for, it is time to add that missing piece, that one thing that Dirac Live just doesn't do. We're about to just take that piece and put it into the puzzle. Now, what I'm talking about is getting a custom target curve for your room. Because at the end of Dirac Live, it asks you like, hey, can you change this? Do you want to change this? And people just go in there with their finger and just change things willy-nilly without actually knowing what they're doing. Now, what Magic Beans does is it derives a custom target curve for your room based on the capabilities of your speakers, the distance from your main listening position, and room acoustics to create a custom target curve instead of just accepting or blindly accepting what they have in the Dirac Live as soon as you're done. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So we're gonna use the Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit. We do have a sale running on this right now. It is 20% off, and that sale ends tonight. You'll get 20% off the Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit, bringing it down to $80. I liked it at $100. I love it at $80. And coincidentally, Magic Beans is also having a St. Patrick's Day sale that ends tonight, and you can get $100 off of that. So I will put both of those links, 2 separate websites, in the description box there for you guys to check out. We're going to be using the periodic pink noise of the Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit. Now we need a full range pink noise, and to do that, we need to do a few things in the AVR, like turn off our subwoofer and then change the crossovers. So let's do that now. All right, I'm going into speakers and then configuration, and I'm changing this to subwoofer no. Going back out, going down to crossover. Crossover type is normal. Now for all of these center, oh, there we go. We want these all to be full band. Okay, so it all looks full band, full band, full band, full band. Now if you notice, if you hit the info button on the bottom right, you don't have the option for Dirac Live. So Dirac Live is totally off. Okay, we need to make sure that that is the case. You can even hit the Q button to go down to Room EQ, and you don't get Dirac Live at all. It's grayed out, so you can't access it. So you want to make sure that is the case. Measurement, we've moved on from the standard mic to the UMIK-1. I've got a nice long USB-C cable, got a little shock mount for this, and it's on a selfie stick, so I can kind of move this around, which is going to help out in just a few minutes. On Magic Beans here, we go to mic settings, and okay, we have the calibration file loaded up, so we're good to go there. I'm going to hit back. Now we're going to go into True Target. There is a tutorial on how to measure, so you guys can check that out. Okay, now I'm going to select my layout 5.1.4, or you select whatever layout is, for you. I'm going to hit next. Okay, select the microphone. We already did that. And we're now going to do a front left measurement. So I'm going to hit measure on Magic Beans and then hit play on the front left on the toolkit. 3, 2, 1. We're now moving on to the next measurement, which is the main listening position measurement. Okay, so we want to do this motion here and kind of point it at the front left. Gonna rewind it and then hit measure 5, 4, hit play. Okay, so we've got the front left near field measurement and the main listening position measurement. Okay, let's go next. And now it's the center channel, so we need to back out. Okay, so it's gonna be a near field measurement. So let's go over here. On the Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit, I'm gonna hit Disk Menu. I'm going to select Center. It's gonna start playing. Pause it a second so I can get situated here, get it ready. Now I'm gonna hit measure. It's gonna count 5 seconds. Okay, so we got that one. Now we're going back over to the main listening position. Okay, main listening position. I'm gonna hit next to main listen center, hit play. Okay, we'll do next. So we're just gonna do all of the speakers like this, okay? And go back over here, the laptop around. Now you can do this with your cell phone as well. I like to do it with the Mac so that it's better to show you guys what's going on. Okay, so disk menu on the toolkit. Now we need to do select front right. Okay, got that one. Now we're going on to the surround right. Okay, now we're on to the front height. Here's why selfie sticks are great, especially something that you can change. Okay, we're still gonna do this situation here. And if you're wondering, the Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit can help you if you have a 5.1.2 or a 9.1.6 and everything in between. Measure, here we go. Okay, and right into this guy here. Okay, front height right, change the angle of this guy right here. Boom. Let's go measure, hit play, good to go. Okay. Get ready. Boom. Okay. Okay, front height left, which is right above the camera there. I don't know if it's gonna capture it, but let's get it ready. Rear height left. Wrong speaker. So we're just gonna redo, and there's like a redo function here. So that was rear height right I needed. Okay, so redo measurement. Okay, rear height right. Measure, starts in 5, 4. Okay, let's go. Oh, okay. Boom. So as you can see, if you have a small space, you don't need to keep stopping the actual playback on the Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit. You can just boom, boom, make adjustments on your selfie stick and get right into the main listening position, you know, from the near field. Boom, boom, boom. Get this sucker done quickly. All right, let's angle this so we get something like that. Rear height left, measure, play. There we go. Okay, now LFE. For LFE, we're not going to do a near field. We only need to know LFE from the main listening position. So I do have to go back into the settings here and turn on the subwoofer. But we also want to make sure Dirac Live is still off. So we need to go to speaker configuration. Subwoofer now says 1 channel. Go back out of that. Room correction, and there's nothing in the bottom right under 5.1.4. Okay, so we're gonna hit the LFE now. 1, 2, okay. And again, this is just a main listening position measurement. Here we go. The LFE was on auto, so that'll happen. So we're just gonna redo the measurement, meaning it took a little bit of time to get going. There we go. Okay, let's stop that and hit next. All right, now it is generating the filters. And it is asking me, do you want to save the measurement? And of course I do. So this is, enter room name. I'm gonna put bedroom Dirac Live. Save. So this is the target curve. This is the target curve. I knew you guys are like super far away, but it's okay. This is the target curve. So I'm just gonna download the image because there is a Discord server for Magic Beans as well as the toolkit. And once you have access to Magic Beans Discord, there's a whole like list of, you know, room curves, like pictures from everybody else. So that's very interesting, very cool. All right, so as far as export method, what we wanna do is we wanna do this unified sound field, okay? As an output, right? We have Dirac Live 2-pass calibration, Dirac Live bass control, Dirac Live bass control 2-pass. Now I'm not doing Dirac Live bass control because there's still the bug in the Onkyo RZ30, 50, and 70. Selected for a speaker, the crossover, it goes to the next speaker, and so it's still messed up. So that only affects Dirac Live bass control and bass management. So that's why we're just doing Dirac Live. I'm gonna make a new folder on my desktop, and it's gonna be called Magic Beans Dirac Live, right? Okay, so now I'm going to hit export on my target curve and go to desktop, and I'm just gonna save it in there. Save to blah, blah, blah location, hit okay. Okay, now we go into the folder and we've got all our text files. So now here's what we need to do. We need to load up Dirac Live once again. So we need to make sure that everything is set up normally again in the AVR. We turned on the subwoofer. Okay, so now we're going to go into Dirac Live. Okay, now we're going to go to this hamburger situation and we're gonna load the project. Now this was the project I did yesterday, which was auto-saved. Thank goodness for autosave. So here, as you can see, it's gotten rid of our filter. So let's go to filter export and let's just type in Dirac Live. And that's going to be the Dirac Live filter on filter 1. So this way we put Magic Beans on to filter 2. So you can go back and forth and listen to the difference if you like. All right, so now we've got Dirac Live on 1. Since Magic Beans gives you a filter for each speaker individually, we need to separate these out of the groups. Click on front right, and we're just gonna go all the way to the bottom and just dump it there, okay? And then it automatically puts it, where it should belong. So don't worry about that. Okay, down there. Height 1 right, height 2 right, okay. All right, so now as you can see on the, we've got a front. You're gonna right click on group 1, front left. Load target curve, we're gonna go to the desktop, the Magic Beans Dirac Live that I put in there, the bedroom, Dirac Live, okay. Filters for front left, so you just have to read and make sure you enter in the proper filter for the proper speaker, okay. Hit open, and boom, this is the target curve for the front left, okay. A lot different from restore default target. Boom, that's a lot different, a lot of different. Okay, let's load it again. Filters for front left, boom, okay. Center, load target curve for center, there it is. Boom. Load target curve for front right, filters for front right. There it is, okay. Surround left, load target curve, filter for surround left. Okay, that's the right one. Open, surround right, load target curve for surround right. Okay, there we go. Load target curve for LFE. There it is up the top. There it is. Whoa, let's go back to the basic one. Oh, that's it. That's the default one. Okay. Load target curve for LFE. Height 1 left. That's a front height left. So load target curve for front height left. Okay. Height 1 right. That is going to be the front height right. That is front height right. Okay. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Height 2 left. That would be rear height left. There it is. Okay. And load target curve for, which one is this? Height 2 right, which is rear height right. Okay. Boom. And then that's it. We've loaded these are all our custom target curves per speaker for this room specifically. And this is what is missing with Dirac Live. It doesn't tell you what it is. Now we're going to export this filter. We'll go to the second, and we're going to go Magic Beans Dirac. Okay, Magic Beans DL, Dirac Live. Okay, export filter. So now we've got the two filters. You know what? I'm going to actually save this project as Magic Beans DL. Okay, let's save it in the autosave folder. Sure, why not? Okay. Now we need to quit Dirac Live. When we look at the screen, and let me just play. Okay, here we go. I'm going to hit I. Now, we don't have anything selected, okay? So I'm going to hit Q, the quick menu, and I'm going to go down to Room EQ, click that, and Dirac Live, we now have slot 1 and slot 2, and off. Those are our three options. It's right over here, right? Off, slot 1, slot 2. So I'm going to hit Slot 1 if I want Dirac Live, and then slot 2, Dirac Live with the target curve from Magic Beans. That's the one you're gonna want, but you can go ahead and put on a movie and then go back and forth between the two, slot 1 and slot 2, if you want to hear the differences between the two. I already know it's gonna be awesome on Magic Beans. So, all right, so the last thing we need to do is post EQ sub alignment. Go into there, and I'm just gonna read this to you guys, okay? First, you need to turn on bass management, meaning the subs are working along with your regular speakers. 2, you need to play pink noise out of the left speaker, and you should hear sound from your left speaker and your subs. 3, adjust your main speaker volume in real time in blue until it aligns with the target curve, yellow, at the 1000 kilohertz dashed line. Leave the volume there. Note, use lower 10 dB only if you prefer to use a lower test volume. That's what I'm going to do. I would suggest you do that as well because it can get loud. Adjust the trim levels of your subs on your AVR or DSP until the sub response blue aligns with the target curve yellow at the 50 Hz dash line. 5, you will see an OK confirmation for both 1 kilohertz and 50 Hz when they're both at the correct relative level. Your subs are now aligned. Your sub levels are now aligned. Okay, so let's go back out to there, and I'm going to hit lower negative 10 dB and play the... Okay, looks like 50 is where it's at. Now, when I go in and change the subwoofer level, the AVR is going to pop out pink noise, and that is not the pink noise that we want to use, just so everybody knows. Looks like we're going to have to put the dB level of the subwoofer down in the AV receiver. So we're going to hit Setup, go into Speakers, down to Level Calibration. It's going to pop out its test tones. Just disregard it and turn down the bass volume. Let's try 1 dB and see how it fares once we press play on the Spatial Toolkit. Looks like we need another half a dB or dB lower for bass volume, so let's go do that. Let's try half a dB first. Okay, back to the Spatial Toolkit to hit play. No, looks like we need another half dB at least. No, maybe another half dB. Let's go. This is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Dialing it in. Dialing it in. Oh, we're getting close to both of them being lit, so I would imagine it's one more half a dB. So originally that started at negative 5 dB, so now we're down to negative 8. That is how to run Dirac Live on the TX-RZ30, and of course do magic beans and fill in the gap, the big gap that Dirac Live leaves you, which is how do you enter, or what target curve do you enter? That's really what's happening. So don't forget, we got a special 20% off the Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit, which ends Monday evening. This is the St. Patty's Day sale, and it's also $100 off Magic Beans on the same day. So make sure you go visit both the websites and get the most out of your home theater. Like, let's crank it up to get that last 30% out of your AVR, okay? If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm sure you will. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.